Good morning, everyone. Welcome to CSL Cape Coral. This is the 15 minutes of meditation before the service starts. And my name is Karen Gidley, and I am a licensed practitioner here at CSL Cape Coral. And it is my pleasure this morning to facilitate the meditation. And a reminder that this topic, the global theme for this year, is living out loud, and this month is the power of vulnerability, and then this week is letting go and letting in. So I've chosen a topic of friendship, which really goes into the inner self of being friends with ourselves and honoring our friends in our life as well. So this all goes into being vulnerable, letting go and letting in. So now if you'd like to take a moment to just center yourself, take a nice deep breath in, cleansing breath, and release all the tensions and all the hustle bustle that has been going on this morning. And center yourself into that centered space within your heart, just knowing that that is a sacred space at all times for us to just rest into when we need to. And just as we begin this meditation, just knowing that with this point of view of living out loud and being vulnerable and just letting go and letting in on a personal level, the vulnerability calls us to reflect on ourselves with gentle eyes. And a key ingredient to vulnerability is the willingness to let go and allow ourselves to fully embrace all aspects of ourselves. And being open, vulnerability opens the door for all experiences of life to rush in. Now, as we're grounded and centered, just rise up from the energy of the earth, Mother Earth, and that energy rising up into the heart chakra. And see your heart, a beautiful green flower, closed, revolving slowly in space. And your heart light shines through, illuminating the dark, empty space in which your heart floats, serene, peaceful, an internal bliss. And secure your self-love with all the outer petals to unfold slowly. And they gently unfold. And as each petal unfolds, they unfold completely, and the tip of each petal begins to glow pink with the knowledge of self-love. Breathe in and breathe out, and feel the armor of daily living peel away, peeling away with the petals as they fall effortlessly from the heart center. Each petal has a green base with a glowing pink tip. Now you see and feel the flower of your heart, fully open and receptive, whirling gently in the space of your mind. It is throwing green and pink light in all directions. And as you spin with the flower, you notice small points of light hovering in the distance. They are moving closer and closer. You can feel the love energy of them reaching you and caressing your energy field. They float closer, and you realize that they are the heart flowers of all your friends. And there's so many twinkling, spinning slowly towards you. And yes, you think, come closer. There is no danger here, not to you or from you. And they spiral in close enough for you to see their faces. They are your family and friends. And they are thrilled to touch you on the spiritual plane. And as you touch the energy field with first one and then another, healing and forgiveness and the light and joy suffuse the atmosphere around all of you. And now you see your flower float to the center of a circle of dancing. There are joyous heart flowers. And as the energy rises, you all spin and dance faster, in and out, around and about. You whirl and spiral in your sacred orbits, making up the very essence of life. You see all the spinning of atoms at the base of the energy chain, the revolving of your life in the life of others, and the music of planets and stars. And you see that they dance to the same sacred song. And the song is composed of all the songs each of you sing. The combined effect is the sound of life. Breathe in the music and breathe out. and hear your own sacred song. Hear how important your friendship is to the others in your life. Breathe in and breathe out. And honor the importance of others' songs in your own life. See the connection of our dance and honor your part. Feel surrounded by the love of your friends. Reach out and surround them in turn. Drop all those barriers and let your dances flow together. These steps are older than time, and you know them by heart. You are the dance, and without you, the dance would be incomplete. And realize that you are important to your friends, just as you are. And know that you can accept your family and friends just as they are, without losing anything of yourself. Feel the love and acceptance. Breathe in this feeling and breathe out any walls that may remain. Breathe in the love of self, and know that to love and accept others, you must first love and accept yourself. Breathe out and breathe in the power of love. All you need is love. Breathe out the fears and doubts. And know on this spiritual plane, everyone can be the best they are meant to be, including you. As the knowing of your own self-worth radiates out from the tips of your heart flower, it joins and becomes fused with the long pink fires that are radiating out from all the other heart flowers. The energy lines connect and dance and connect and dance. And as the dance slowly slows down and each heart flower floats serenely in its own space, you see and feel the rays of light and love that form your connection with everyone else in this circle. You are at oneness with yourself, which makes you all one with all. Breathe deeply, pulling the pink light through your being. Be healed, knowing that as long as you have yourself for a friend, you will never be alone. Know that you deserve your friends and that they deserve a fine and spiritual person like you in their lives. This is the face of the goddess or God, and it is an honor to see it. Breathe in this knowing and sit with the image of dozens of pink, green flowers gently whirling in the womb of space, lighting the void within their infinite love. And when you are ready, bring yourself back into the room. Feel the chair beneath you. Take a nice deep breath in and release out all that love. And when you are ready, open your eyes. Namaste. And we will resume here at 10:30 with the Sunday celebration. And thank you for being here for the meditation. Namaste.
Attention, attention, we're starting soon. Good morning. You two, too. You two in the front. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I just feel like waving it. Oh, we got some new kids in the back. Hi, good morning. And some old kids. Not some old kids. My name is Dawn Bauer. I am a religious science practitioner. I'm purple because I'm out of Mile High in Colorado, but serving the lovely Center for Spiritual Living, Cape Coral. Isn't this a lovely place? Aren't we glad to be here? So we're just going to kick it off with a little song for the Big Love Band. Take it away.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
All right, we've got a favorite.
Good morning.
So I'm sure all of you know this song. So you're required to sing with us this morning. So stand up. We're going to get our energy flowing and our blood flowing this morning with My Religion is Kindness. My religion is kindness. My church is nature. My God is a feeling. Lives deep inside. My job is to be conscious. My path is forgiveness. My religion is kindness, and I practice it every day. Everyone has a story. Everyone has pain. When we strip away our mask, we find we're really all the same. There's little things we say and do that can mean so much. It's a smile and a connection, a simple loving touch. My religion is kindness. My church is nature. My God is a feeling. Lives deep inside. My job is to be conscious. My path is forgiveness. My religion is kindness, and I practice it every day. Every day. Today I'm gonna ask myself, what more can I do to be a radiant child of God? Let my love shine through. I'm gonna let my heart be my guide to give the best of me. I'm gonna share my joy, share my love, give it boundlessly. My religion is kindness. My church is nature. My God is a feeling. Lives deep inside. My job is to be conscious. My path is forgiveness. My religion is kindness, and I practice it every day. Every day. Guitar. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. And Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came running after. She said, Jack, tell me, what can I do to help ease your mind? He said, hold my hand and just be kind. I know I'll be fine. My church is nature. My God is a feeling. Lives deep inside. My job is to be conscious. My path is forgiveness. My religion is kindness, and I practice it every day.
Every day,
My religion is kindness, and I practice it every day.
every day.
Woo! Roger, I enjoyed your dancing. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So wherever you are on your spiritual path, you are welcome here. So if you're new here, please come and chat with anybody here. Ask them more about what's going on here at the center, and please do think about coming back. A little bit about what we believe. We believe that we are co-creators with the divine. So you can change your entire life just by changing your mind. You can shift it right here, and that shifts your perspectives on everything. I was just reading something this morning. This woman went to some Sedona journey, some Sedona retreat thing, and she was like, I'm coming here because I need to have the strength to leave my marriage because he's driving me crazy. And she found out while she was on that retreat that he was just a reflection of everything that she was and that she needed to change herself. So she ended up going back and actually stepping into her life because she just changed her own perceptions. So that's just a little tidbit of a story of what we believe here. So we have a founder, Ernest Holmes, and we do read from his text, The Science of Mind, but we also study other spiritual teachings as well, both contemporary and traditional. So you can visit our website at cslcapecoral.org for more information. We've got events there. You can submit a prayer request. You'll have a chance to have a prayer up front after service, too, if you would like to experience that. But please send us any questions or comments that you have. And I do want to point your attention right over here to Karen Gidley. She's one of our practitioners. She's holding the high watch, what we call high watch. So she's holding a high consciousness for our service and everybody here today in the service, that the highest and best is unfolding right here and right now. So she's not taking a nap over there. She's doing some hard work. It's fun work, though. All right, and I think we've got another song by the Big Love Band.
It's a new day. Sing with us. Every day we're born again to create this world we live in. Now let us claim our good and speak our word and release it to the universe.
It's a new day.
Right here is where we make a stand.
It's a new day.
Compassion for our fellow man. Right
It's a
here
new day.
we're making a difference. It's a new day.
It's a new day.
All together hand in hand.
It's a new day.
Compassion for our fellow man. Right
It's a
now
new day.
we're making a difference. It's a new day. Every day I'm filled with wonder by the glory of the silent thunder unfolding from down under. And we're so wonderful.
It's a new day.
Right here is where we make our stand.
It's a new day.
Compassion for our fellow man. Right
It's a new
here
day.
we're making a difference. It's a new day.
It's a new day.
All together hand in hand.
It's a new day.
Compassion for our fellow man. Right
It's a
now
new day.
we're making a difference. It's a new day. Every day we're born again to create this world we live in. Now let us claim our good and speak our word and release it to the universe.
It's a new day.
Right here is where we make our stand.
It's a new day.
Compassion for our fellow man. Right
It's a new
here
day.
we're making a difference. It's a new day.
It's a new day.
All together hand in hand.
It's a new day.
Compassion for our fellow man. Right
It's a
now
new day.
we're making a difference. It's a new day.
As I'm listening to that song, I'm thinking like it just ties in perfectly what I was just talking about. Like every time you make a new choice, it's a new day. You've just changed your day. You just started a brand new day. Ooh, think about that. It's a new day. Goosebumps. All right, thanks for standing. We're going to bestow a welcome on each other. And so just for if you're new, we're warming up our hands, not to do any voodoo on each other, but we're just warming up our acupressure points, actually, and sending some love to each other in the room. Just imagining that you're sending love to each other in the room as you're reading this along with me. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. We know who you truly are. You are the spiritual image and likeness of God. We appreciate you, we love you, and we are thankful you are here. Welcome to the center. And another song by the Big Love Band.
All right, which is one of my other favorites. I don't know if you all do not know Denise Reuser. She's one of those where you can just listen to in the car and just jam out to it for hours and hours and hours. So if you have the ability to put your top down and just jam out to her, I highly recommend it. So this is one of my favorites that I begged the band to help support in. Have you seen the way of a pebble skips across a lake with a ripple every time it touches down? It might be a single stone, but 1,000 rings come from it alone, stretching out miles around. Where you gonna touch down? How you gonna reach out? What are you sending out without another thought right now? We're all flying at the speed of sound, always climbing, never losing ground. What's at stake is the splash we make every time we touch down. Man gives time to teach in a village. The kids from there head off to college. It's the work of one, moving on and on. Just like that rock skipping across that lake, we send out rings with each choice we make. So pick up your stone and give it a throw. Where you gonna touch down? How you gonna reach out? What are you sending out without another thought right now? We're all flying at the speed of sound, always climbing, never losing ground. What's at stake is the splash we make every time we touch down. Where you gonna touch down? How you gonna reach out? What are you sending out without another thought right now? We're all flying at the speed of sound, always climbing, never losing ground. What's at stake is the splash we make every time we touch down.
Look at that, the kids on cue. So now is the time, if you are a little one and you want to head back to our youth program, you guys can go ahead and start heading back there. We got some fun activities for you today. And next, I would like to introduce John We're a little behind on the slides. That's okay. Come on up here, John. John is a practitioner here as well, and he's going to be doing a reading and prayer for us today. Thank you.
And thank you for that nice introduction. Indeedy. I had a situation, and I keep forgetting to get ink for my printer, so I can't print out the reading that I was going to do, so I'm going to attempt to do this on the phone. And that should be kind of interesting in itself. The topic that we have is vulnerability going on this month. And today we begin by discussing vulnerability on the individual level. We will explore how self-reflection, allowing, and opening serve as integral parts to our own willingness to be vulnerable with ourselves and those around us. And I think to myself sometimes being vulnerable is something that each individual practitioner, when they get up here in front of the microphone, are a little bit vulnerable because they might mess up, you know? So you're kind of being vulnerable that way. The more we can make friends with all parts of us, the more we can begin to explore our ability to bring those aspects of ourselves to life in expanding ways. The more we are able to do this for ourselves, the greater our ability will be to create space for others to do the same. And right now, this is our time for holding someone or some situation in your life in the light. Please bring to your mind and heart a person or a situation in your life that's needing a little light. And we'll just take a few moments of holding that person, that situation in the light right here and right now. And just recognizing right here and right now that person, that situation is a God essence too, besides our own selves. Just knowing that that God essence is right there where we are, is what we are, and each of that individual or situation, that God presence is there. And for our celebration service today, we just recognize it as going on in a most magnificent way, just rising up all of our consciousness and bringing more good to our lives. So we just say thank you for that. It is a most magnificent thing indeed, and we just can rest in that and just say thank you, thank you, thank you. And together we can affirm by saying, and so it is. And right now I'd like to introduce our main man, as I like to call him. Reverend Chris, please come forward.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, John. Thank you. Oh, it's a wonderful day. I'm happy to be here and happy to see your faces again. I want to say thank you for last weekend too. We had a good crowd. The barbecue game day was fantastic. So thanks to everybody absolutely. Thanks to everybody that came and played games. I want to say thanks to Gail for bringing croquet, because my kids had never played croquet, and they really got a kick out of that. Except for when I did the ball thing, when you touch somebody's ball, and then you get to send it out. Griffin didn't know about that, and he was on the verge of wanting to lose it when I sent his ball. He didn't get that rule. He's like, that's mean. I'm like, it kind of is, but it's the game. And then, thanks to everybody that volunteered and chipped in and made it happen. Nathaniel and Cole cooking tirelessly, and lots of other volunteers. Forgive me, I can't name everybody, but Linda, I know you worked all weekend long, and I know you were the last one to leave on Sunday. God bless you. Thank you. MB, I know. So we have to hang on to him. You didn't put the date, right? The year, right? Maybe we'll use it for the next time. We have to get more maybe organized for the actual tournament, but I know everybody had a lot of fun, and So that's the main thing, the most important thing. So, yeah, thank you very much for being here. And just, this is, it's just such a gift. And I hope that you're finding it to be a gift as well, because it's how we grow and learn and just deepen our connection with one another, because that's what this is all about. Everything on this planet, it's about us, oneness, all of us, every single one. Okay, so letting go, letting in, vulnerability. I know 2 weeks ago when I spoke, I gushed kind of nonstop about Brene Brown, because she is one of my favorites. So I'm curious, did anybody go and look up Brene Brown? Yes. Excellent, excellent. Were you as moved as I was? Yes. I think that's maybe impossible, but I'm glad that you felt moved. No, she just blows me away. So that being said, there's a question, and maybe you stumbled across this or not, but what is the most terrifying and difficult emotion that we experience? Keeping in mind, this is Brene Brown's answer, who's spent over 20 years studying trauma, shame, vulnerability. What do you think is the most terrifying and difficult emotion that human beings experience? Go ahead and shout it out. I heard a lot. I heard some fear, shame, loss, absolutely. Yeah. And I think I hear Phyllis giving the answer away. The most difficult and terrifying emotion is joy. Not you, Joy, but joy, the emotion. Yeah, and she, when question, really? How's that the most difficult? She's like, without a doubt, absolutely 100%. That's where her research has led her. And she's got some compelling examples of why and where this comes from. And the first example, she says, I'm speaking to a room full of parents, and I say, that feeling, like you're looking over your child sleeping, and you're like, I have never known a love like this is possible. It's like, and then in that instant, you're like, what if something happened to you? And then she uses another one. You wake up in the morning and you're like, my job's going good. My relationship with my partner is excellent. My parents seem to be healthy. And then in her words, holy crap. Something's going to happen. Right? It's joy. It's not the emotion joy. It's feeling it too much and then losing it. And we don't want to lose it. And that's why she says it's the most challenging emotion to feel. And this is how and what she attributes it to. When we lose our tolerance for vulnerability, joy becomes foreboding. When we're born open and wide. If you've raised children or had neighbors that had children, taught school, they don't know yet how vulnerable they are. And as they grow kind of older, little things happen, and they experience their first example of rejection or loss, maybe loss of a pet. And you see how, it's devastating. We still feel that as adults. It's devastating when these things happen. But the kids, when you see it, they hold that. And then pretty quickly, something comes up, and it could be, it's amazing with the little kids because it's the little things that just can bring so much joy, and you see it, and they're leaning into it. But as they start to get older, and they've experienced more of those sorrows and rejections, feelings of guilt, you start to see something is really enjoyable. But, especially as they're turning into the teen ages, when they're in that place of joy, it's not quite as bright. It's still there. Again, they're still young, and they haven't been completely jaded yet. But you start to see it's kind of a dimming down. And as we get older and experience more and more of that joy becomes foreboding, and we want to protect ourselves. And the idea is, protecting ourselves. I mentioned it probably about a month ago that, we do it wanting to survive, which the spoiler alert is that nobody does. Nobody ever has. But it's an emotional kind of support, a more emotional protection, because we don't want to feel that loss. So the walls we build around us to keep out that sadness of the loss, it also keeps the joy at bay to a certain extent. We don't feel it as strongly because we don't want to lose it. So a lot of people, the more they've experienced, the more they've gone through life, the older we get, we have built that wall of protection, and we've learned to just kind of live in the middle. And you even hear people that will, consciously say that's their philosophy. I don't get too excited about things, and then I'm not that disappointed when it doesn't work out. And, if something good happens, well, it's cool, it's gravy. It's icing on the cake, but I'm not going to get too excited about it. And I think a lot of us, though, it's kind of unconscious. We pick it up. It's from our collective consciousness. It's handed down generation after generation. And one kind of continual saying in my family is, "So how are things going?" Well, no news is good news. And in a way, that can be used as a way of appreciating that things are good right now. But it's also kind of a way of, like, there's always something bad that's going to happen, so I'm glad I'm not hearing it right now. But by creating that way of just living in the middle so we don't get too excited or, protecting ourselves from that sadness, we get, the fear is, if we get too excited about something, just staying in that middle. So I don't want to lean into that joy too much because, something's going to happen. The other shoe's going to drop. But most of the time, it's not some big thing that happens and comes and takes away the joy. It's just kind of a gradual fading. And so then we just kind of transition back into where we're just kind of living in the middle. So why in the world would we wall ourselves off? And I know I am guilty of this, and I've done it. It still rears its head in my life. Why wall ourselves off from feeling that joy fully when the risk of not doing that is that we just fade back into the middle? So instead, I'm just not even going to feel it. But that's what's going to happen. We think that not feeling it is going to protect us from these big, horrible things that's bound to happen. But most of the time, that's not what happens. So we choose to live where we're kind of afraid of going in the first place and never get to experience that bigger joy. So that vulnerability, letting go of that fear of losing that joy and knowing these other things are always going to happen. They're going to come up. We are going to experience loss. It's part of life. And it's actually what we're here for, is that full spectrum of emotion, of living. And when we numb ourselves from feeling the pain or protect ourselves from feeling that pain, we're blocking out the goodness. The good stuff that we're here, that icing on the cake is what makes it all worthwhile. So, when it's so ingrained in us, and it's just part of our being, and it's conscious sometimes, but most of the time it's just unconscious. We protect ourselves. We don't want to feel that joy. How do we tear down the walls? How do we let that go? If most of the time we don't even know we're doing it, then how in the heck are we going to possibly move out of it? Well, this is a great time just to plug what we do here in this center, to plug what we do with classes. We just finished the Essential Ernest Holmes class, which I feel so fortunate to be, that's my job, to get to sit in that, because it was amazing. And this is where we get to explore ourselves deeper, open up to what we enjoy. So to tear down the walls, to let go so that we can let in all that joy, so that we can let what I call God in, to fully experience it. Not just to get a little bit of it, but to get all of it, to really savor it, dig in, and live life out loud, which is what we're being called to do, which Brene Brown calls wholehearted living. She's talking about the exact same thing that we are. It takes effort. So this is from the Science of Mind. This is, the final version was put out in 1938. And I put the page number because I kind of truncated what I'm going to say, but it's from a section called Constant Prayer. And he used the words in there, attitude of gratitude, which I didn't realize that saying had been around for 80 years or so, or more. But I'll read it out loud for anybody that can't see it. It says, in everything, give thanks. Gratitude is one of the chief graces of human existence and is crowned in heaven with a consciousness of unity. Gratitude, the chief graces of human existence. This is what we're here to feel. Now, I love Brene Brown in that the reason I love her so much is just because she's so entertaining, but she's talking about these same things, and I could watch her for hours. She talks about it's not an attitude of gratitude, per se, and her way of giving an example of what that is or what that isn't is, she's like, I've got an attitude of yoga. I've got yoga pants. I wear yoga pants pretty much all the time. I have a yoga mat that's probably somewhere in my house, somewhere. I say namaste from time to time, but I do not practice yoga. So what she's trying to convey is that gratitude, it's a practice. If it's not applied, we don't get the benefit from it. And that's where it wasn't until I started taking Science of Mind classes. I was finding stuff from all over the place, and that's what I love about this world. Like, I can watch Brene Brown for hours and not pay a penny, and I'm getting good spiritual food. There's so much out there that I can seek. And when I got back onto this path of pursuing my spiritual nature, learning more about the nature of myself, how it is with and as the universe, I would get gifts, little tidbits here and there that I could shift in my life. But it wasn't until when I finally pulled the trigger to sign up for a class, and this is in Mile High Church in Denver in 2009. And I'm like, $300 for a class, I don't know. I was waiting tables. I'm like, But I had paid like $45 to go see Wayne Dyer speak at Mile High Church. And it was about an hour and a half. I was like, and that was great. I really liked it. So then when I broke it down, and I'm like, So $300, it's 10 weeks to go take this class with Dr. Roger Teal was my first instructor. I'm like, so it's $30 a week, $30 a lesson for a 3-hour class to get to learn from somebody, to have a workbook, to have assignments each week that keep me progressing on this path and applying. So put in a plug for our practitioner, Melissa Tuff, who is beginning Spiritual Principles and Practices. That's the class that she is starting tonight. It's a 6-week class. If anybody is on the fence of whether to take that or not, I would strongly encourage you. This is a step forward. This is how we say yes to the universe. I know that there's something bigger, and I want to bring it into my life in a tangible way. And gratitude is one of the practices that is taught in that class. And as Brene Brown talks about it, it's a practice. It can be sharing what you're grateful for before we sit down to eat. It can be setting a time on your phone that goes off every day that you do a voice memo and just express something that you're grateful for. I love to do it right before I'm going to bed. List off 3 things that I'm grateful for from the day, or just something I'm grateful for that I hadn't thought about in a while, and I really feel into it. picture it, allow myself to lean into that joy of feeling it. And that's when I close my eyes to go to sleep. I'm in that field of appreciation before I go to sleep. And my subconscious mind is going to go off and run on whatever it is, but if I can feed it with something that's helping me break down those walls, those fears of avoiding the joy, like what a powerful gift. And it's these little practices that I would notice little shifts here and there where maybe something would be going on in the world and I'd be quick, ready to lose my temper, and something would be like, well, is it that big? What's really happening here? And like the first kind of times where I would see something that normally in the past would have like set me off, I'd be like, what is that? Like, with that mindfulness, awareness of, that's something I hadn't noticed before. And I caught it. There's little shifts. And, again, I think I talked about it around a month ago or so that it was just a couple times where after like about 5 years or so, and it's different for everybody. Some people can get into a class and a light goes off, Eckhart Tolle style, and everything just opens up. I know for myself, it was, other than what put me on the path a long time ago, getting back into it, it was a gradual process. And it was probably around like my third year, maybe fourth, when I was just starting in the practitioner training, that I realized I found myself crying tears of joy on more and more occasions that I hadn't done for the majority of my life. I remember like when I kind of hit like a rock bottom before I got on this path, and found myself away from the party lifestyle that was pretty detrimental to my health and to my relationships, to my freedom. That was an overwhelming feeling of like, oh, there's something bigger. But then it faded. That initial joy, it faded, and I went back into just kind of getting by and then finding myself down. But the more I do this work and do the gratitude practices, do the meditation, practice mindfulness in my being where I'm observing what I'm feeling all the time, it opens us up to that bigger thing that we are a part of, that we're here to feel. And oh my God, is it amazing when you have those little glimpses of somebody doing something or something that strikes your heart. And that's why Brene Brown gets to me so much, because she has a way of pointing out those little things that just rock you to your soul, and you are touching the divine. You are in the field. And that's what we need on this planet. So the last thing that Brene talked about, well, really there's a couple. So the first one, she tells a story of a man in his 60s, and he got into a car accident, and he lost his wife of 40 plus years. And so her research, she interviews, this is some of the people that she interviews, trauma survivors, from victims of domestic violence, from genocide, like people that have experienced the whole range of trauma. And this is one of the people that she interviewed, and he said in that instant that he realized she was gone, instantly he's like, I wish I would have leaned into those moments of joy more, because by not doing that, it didn't protect me from what I'm feeling. It didn't protect him anyway. And he missed all of that because he was just afraid of losing it, and he never had it. And he didn't realize it till it was too late. And then the other thing is when we miss people, and she talks about hearing the screen door slam. And one of the stories, it was about somebody that lost a child, and they used to yell at their kid for slamming that door when he would come in. Don't let it slam. It's going to break off the hinges. But then that parent, just to hear that door slam one more time. I love Kurt Vonnegut too. Enjoy the little things in life, because one day you'll look back and realize they were the big things. So that practice of gratitude, applying it, is how we create the life of joy. It's letting go of that vulnerability, being willing to take that risk to deepen our relationships with those around us that we want to. I'm not saying be vulnerable to everybody in the world, but we be vulnerable where our love is, where our loved ones are. And then to open up in that joy, because the universe, this planet, and what's going on, there's a division that I know, it's always been there. I feel, though, like right now that division is so much in the forefront right now, and it's human beings. We're all one, and we are like this, and we're stuck in our ideals. But what I know is that if I can lean into my joy and feel that more and be there, I can look at anybody that I strongly disagree with, and remind myself we are one. We are here together, and if we cannot lean into our own joy, how are we going to do it? How are we going to get through this? But if I can lean into that, and if I can see you lean into that, and respect one another enough to okay, how do we create that? Because that's what we're here for. It starts one at a time within each of us. And we have that gift, and we have the tools. The gratitude practice, we have the tools. And as we do it for ourselves, our light shines brighter. And that's what the world needs, is more people living in joy, leaning into it and embracing it and being it. So with that, let's just go and take it within and recognize that there is only one infinite light, and we are it. It is the energy that flows through every single atom of our body, of our physical body, and it is every single electron, neuron, synapse that's firing in our brain. It's all that one energy. I call it the life force. It is the love with the capital L of the universe that brings everything into this manifestation world. And we feel it in the very core of our being, that it is a love, an energy so big. And when we touch it, and when we experiencing it with another, and we open up to lean into that joy, we know that it is the divine. And everything else in that moment ceases to matter. In that moment, when we allow ourselves to lean into that, there are no others. There is only us as I, all of us, every single one. And we all have that at the core of our being. We can feel separated from it, and that's where our challenges come from, when we feel like it's outside of us, or when it's withheld from us, that maybe we're not deserving of it. But just by the fact that that energy is alive and within you means that you are more than worthy of it. You are it. So I affirm and avow oneness with all that is, that as we go forward throughout this week, as we lean into our intentional practices to deepen that light, to bring more of it into the world around us, that we are guided, that the universe lifts us up and shows us how to do that. So may we smile a little deeper. Maybe extend a hand. Maybe suspend ourselves from judgment when we see others that disagree, and remind ourselves there's something at the core of ourselves, and if I can ignite it within myself, then I can see it in another. So Spirit is here, is with us. May you be guided. May we all be guided. May we all remember our oneness and lean into that gratitude. For this is the full spectrum of living, and it is every single bit a gift. The joy, the sorrow, all of it is all part of that full spectrum that we get to share. So I just affirm and avow that our thoughts, our energies, our intentions are lifted up by the universe, the creative mechanism, and it is made so in our physical world, and it is the light and love. So I release these words knowing that as we create in our mind, it is done unto us as we believe, and so it is. Thank you, Colette. So now's the time where we I must maybe turned it off. I might have turned it off. I'm not getting it to go back on, though. I'll let you do it if you don't mind. Okay, so we'll ask our ushers to come forward. So if you feel called to be part of us, part of this mission, and you're financially able to do this from a place of love and from a place that the universe is supplying you, we invite you to help us continue to create shift on this planet. So we use several ways to give. Text to Tithe is my favorite. It's 239-320-3820. You just type in a number, and the first time you do it, it'll have you set up a credit card in there, and then after that, all you have to do is go to that number, send an amount, and it's done. You can send your contribution through PayPal at cslcapecoral.org. There's a donate button on our website that's very simple, walks you through the same process. It's all tracked through our Breeze software so that it's all tax deductible at the end of the year because we are a nonprofit and that's what we're here for. You can also mail a check. Our address is Center for Spiritual Living, Cape Coral, 406 Southeast 24th Avenue, Cape Coral, Florida, 33990. And with that, I wanted to reach out to the people that are watching at home. My email address is reverendchris@cslcapecoral.org. I would love to hear from you. I get to meet people here, and I still have a ton of people to meet here, but I want to meet you watching at home too, because I know we have people that don't come in person, at least not year-round, and some that never do. I want to meet everybody, so please email me if you have any questions for me. And then all of you, we also have the wonderful ushers that are bringing the baskets around. If you have a prayer request, that's what our practitioners are trained to do, to know in consciousness, affirmative prayer, and what we know in the one mind. When we know that and know it, it shifts what ends up happening in the world, and it's a powerful thing. So if there's something on your mind that you would like prayer for, please fill out a prayer request, and you can put it here, or you can fill out one online as well on our website. So with that being said, as we go with this, I invite you to take your donation or your knowing, whatever it is in your heart, and just say and repeat with me this affirmation. Today, I know the activity of divine abundance is at work in my life and the life of this center. I give and receive generously as I live in the flow of bountiful good. So it is. So they will pass that around.
Standing as one in the presence of the power, standing where others have stood. Gladly we offer the gifts of our abundance, knowing the source of our good. Standing as one in the presence of the power, standing where others have stood. Gladly we offer the gifts of our abundance, knowing the source of our good.
Love the Big Love Band. So we just take this and we accept it with deep gratitude, knowing that as it is given, it is multiplied, and it is used in this world in ways that we continue to just shift this consciousness, and that everybody that has given and everybody that has just given consciousness and thought and time and talent, all of it, everybody that is just thinking that as gifts, as we are open to joy, it is returned 1,000-fold, that it is the gift of continual life on this planet. So I know that this money is blessed, and I am so grateful that the center is here, and so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, I think it's done. Thank you.
I love doing that. Talk to my belly button. Has nothing to say. That was wonderful, wasn't it? Such a great talk. So great. So great. So let's just talk about some events and things coming up here. You can always check, like I said earlier, you can check the website, the lobby. You can talk to anybody here. Melissa is here too. Wave your hand, Melissa, if you want to sign up for that class that's coming up that Reverend Chris talked about. So a very special thanks to the beautification team for all the time, effort, and love put into our center. Stand up if you're on the beautification team. Patty, Phyllis, thank you all, everybody. And we're jamming over here. We have an activities team meeting today after service. So that's going to be meeting where? Okay, so around the corner all the way back down the hall down there. So we got more activities coming up, it sounds like. The Spring Fling, which is not the next slide, but I'm sure it's going to be coming up. Spiritual principles and practices. So this is the slide that's talking about that class that we were just talking about. So it's a $145 investment in yourself. It's on Zoom, Sundays, 6:30 to 8:30. And again, Melissa will be here in the back if you want to talk more about that. Wonderful class. Ooh, Monday, May 7th, I think is what that says. It's in the light. Sunday, May 7th. Step into empowerment, the shadow effect. Excuse me, ever since that meditation this morning, I have not had a voice. That meditation that Karen did this morning. If you guys were here for that, I don't know, it took me to another place. Video workshop and discussion. So that is facilitated by Pam Lambert, who is not here right now. Oh, there she is. Oh, you're way in the back. Pam, do you want to say anything about that? So, workshop discussion, it's always good. This is a film, yeah? This is a film that we're watching and then having discussion on? Yep. And that's all she has to say about that. $10 for that. So, and then we've got Patty Carney over here is doing the Holy Fire 3 Reiki Master. She is a Holy Fire Reiki 3 Master. You know, you can read the thing. And so she is doing the next Zoom session on May 2nd from 6:30 to 8 o'clock. So if you want to come and experience some Reiki, you can do that. And Reiki can be done from a distance. So it's quite amazing. Experience expansion. So we've got this ordination ceremony that's coming up for Reverend Teresa Fieberts. And that's 11 a.m. from 1 to 5 on Sunday, April 23rd. So that's up. You want to talk a little bit about that? Yeah.
Just real quick.
Yeah.
The ordination, if you're not close with Teresa or don't know her well enough to want to support her, don't feel like you need to go to the ordination. I just said we would support the party, which is at 1 o'clock in Sarasota. Eddie Watkins Jr. is an amazing musician. Like, he's really good. And then they have a local band. And then I know there's going to be a food truck or food trucks. So it's just a party in Sarasota with like-minded people at their Center for Spiritual Living up there. And much of us, when we go up there, it's a great time to be in community, meet more people, and rock out to some feel-good music.
And they've just recently reopened their center, right? Or is it not yet open?
I believe they're open.
Okay.
That's where Ron Frost is, who was here.
Right. So they closed down during COVID, though, I understood, and then they hadn't opened up for a long time. But I think recently they've just reopened, and I think combined 2 centers or something. So.
Took the ordination off because she was actually ordained during COVID but couldn't have a party.
Got it. So now people are coming back together, and it's going to be a big party. Big party. Spring Fling. I don't know if anybody wants to talk about this. It's Saturday, May 13th, 6 to 9:30. Did I see a hand? Come on up, come on down. We've got raffles, food, and music, and here's Linda.
No, he doesn't want to come up.
You're ready for the Spring Fling.
Yes, I am ready for the spring fling. So please, this is one of our favorite fundraisers, and we have the Big Love Band doing a set. And we just come and hang out, fellowship, eat some really yummy appetizers, and get our dance groove on. So please, everybody, join us for that. And we also have raffles and drawings and and silent auction and all kinds of fun stuff. So please do come and join us and get your party shoes on. All right, thank you.
Thank you. What could be next? The end. So before the Big Love Band sends us out in a fun song, just want to let you know that after service today, the practitioners will be up here in front if you would like a little short prayer. And just know that you can always ask us. We do 50-minute sessions as well that I think a lot of people don't realize. So it's like almost like a spiritual counseling session, you could call it. So you can get some prayer around things, but also kind of talk a little bit deeper on a deeper level about what's going on for you, not in just like 2 minutes up here in front. So you're welcome to come talk to us about that as well. All right, Big Love Band, take it away.
Shine your light. You know the time is right. You gotta go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. Go out and shine your light. You know the time is right. You gotta go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. Step out and take a chance. Walk the talk, join the dance. Relax, enjoy the ride. Let kindness be our guide. Go out and shine your light. You know the time is right. You gotta go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. One voice, one head, one heart. Wanna change, just make a start. We're one big family. What's good for you is good for me. Come on and go out and shine your light. You know the time is right. You gotta go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. Go out and shine.
Have a
Have a
wonderful
great
week.
week.